Is addiction an illness? Addiction, often rooted in deeper psychological issues, wreaks havoc on lives and relationships, even as society stigmatizes those affected, causing them to shy away from seeking help. Psychologists emphasize the importance of support systems, mental health campaigns, and self-determination for recovery and addiction prevention. Our reporter Anyango Silva interacted with experts and recovering addicts, weighed the situation, and filed this special report.
Hii safari sijaanzia juzi, nilianza kitambo. So my initial stage nilianzia nikiwa way young, class 8.
This marked the onset of agony for Mutugi Gitonga, a recovering alcohol addict. Mutugi says that his environment and choice of friends were the leading catalyst for his addiction.
Unafika stage flani like kama after my rite of passage nikajiona mimi I'm grown. You get my point? Yeah, alafu pia nilikuwa na watu around me wanatumia na pia society vile pia na glorify certain absurdities, pia wana normalize vitu zingine ambazo ni insanity tu yani.
A similar story is shared by Chrispus Kimaru, who battled two addictions, alcohol and sex. For Gidai, the need for recognition was the driving force behind his addiction, which began at the age of 17 when he was in Form 3.
Seeing other people drink and feeling like I would like to look masculine as they were. I was a small boy, so I had low self-esteem issues, and I felt like taking alcohol would make me feel like a man. So I saw my brothers drinking and I envied them, and I felt like, wow, they looked cool. I saw their friends drinking, and so I tried also.
For both Mutugi and Githai, their trials eventually developed into dependence, which led to irresponsible living, destroyed relationships, job loss, and a failed marriage for Githai.
Tulikuwa tunaenda kucheza basketball kwa church fulani kwa mahali Ruiru huko Baptista. Tunaenda kucheza huko na hatungecheza bila drink. Tunapitia kwa local palevo, tunachukulia makali, tunaenda kucheza bake.
By the time I was going to the university in 2002, I was an alcoholic. I always say within 2 years I was already an alcoholic. You see, all this time I'm drinking, I don't have a girlfriend, I have never dated, I don't even know about sex. And within 2003, I think I was introduced to a friend of mine, took me to a brothel in Eldoret. And it felt so good. What I didn't know was that now I had the alcohol addiction. Now, anytime I would drink alcohol, I would look for prostitutes. I was staying in Pipeline. Now in Pipeline, there are these Mabati brothels where you even get sex for 100 shillings. That was my home.
In December 2024, a report by Med Archive indicated that 28% of women and 22% of men exhibited depressive symptoms, while 12% of women and 8% of men showed signs of general anxiety. Elvis Barasa, a clinical psychologist at New Chapter Place Counseling and Rehabilitation Center, notes that these groups often turn to alcohol for comfort, driven by confiding in the wrong people.
If truly you have maybe emotional disturbances, I'll equip you with the tools. It is you to use the tools to help you, not me. I cannot help you practically. I can only equip you with the tools, So people perceive therapy as, they want to get, it's not a quick fix.
At the same time, Sheila Gesare, a counseling psychologist at Elewa Ulevi Rehab, highlights that living in denial is a significant reason many affected individuals shun away from seeking help.
There is an increase in people looking for assistance in rehab, though it's not easy because most of the people think that they don't have a problem. They feel like people going to rehab, and also the addicts don't believe that we have a substance use issue.
Having been brought up in church as an altar boy, Githai recounts how guilt and shame filled his life whenever he was sober, thereby attempting suicide by trying to drink himself to death.
I was brought up a Catholic. I was even an altar boy. So nikifanya hizi vitu zote, you can imagine the next morning the guilt and the shame. So hapo uko na mama mpaka hata hawezi amka. na yeye ati ndiye umelala na yeye, so unaambiwa aenda ufungue, ati mifupa inauma, enda ufungue ba. Sometimes ukiwa kama huko mlevi unajiuliza what is this? Is this? Lakini wewe ukichapa cup moja tu hivi na uongeze ka KK, unachangamka, una feel this is the world.
Mutugi shares similar experiences of shame and guilt in his attempts to quit alcohol.
Watu wamekuzoea shujaa fulani, mwanaume, unaenda kufanya nini kwa ati therapy, kwani wewe ni mwendo wazimu? So many times nilikuwa najaribu kuacha. Initially my people walinisaidia. I think the only people ambao wako give up on me ni my mom and sister. Na a kid bro. It's a very expensive affair. Sitakudanganya, lazima pia ukuwe na some muscles financially.
I would have hallucinations, I would have cravings, nilikuwa najifungia kwa hao. Naambia mama mwingine anaitwa mama Mwangi anifungie kwa hao pia nisitoke. Nateseka because I didn't want to tell my family about all my drinking and all. Yani venye nafanya because they had cut off. Yani walikuwa wame give up. And I don't blame them.
Gesare observed that addiction management is more accessible to those with financial resources than those living in informal settlements.
At the moment, people living in the downtown have easier access to substance use. And even the shocking part in this addiction journey, most of the clients using drugs are in the uptown. Because at the moment, because of the social media, you're able to access substances at the comfort of your home. And now, being that this person is able to access substance at the comfort of his or her home, they can access rehab. It's quite easy because are able to pay.
In a significant legal development, the Kenyan High Court ruled in January 2025 that criminalizing attempted suicide is unconstitutional. This decision underscores the necessity for mental health support rather than punitive measures for individuals in crisis. Barasa cautions that while the ruling is progressive, it could pose new challenges to the country's mental health landscape.
For a person to reach to that position of wanting to end it all, it means that that particular person has reached rock bottom. The patient that we have here, it's their loved ones or people around them that come to their aid. Because them, they just engage a phrygia and they are there. Where I sit, I think that it will just lead to a surge of these suicide cases.
As psychologists and non-governmental organizations advocate for the recovery of addicts, they are calling on the government and the Ministry of Health, in collaboration with the Police Department and the Directorate of Criminal Investigation, to intensify mental health campaigns, crack down on illegal alcohol outlets, and regulate social media to minimize addiction triggers, especially for the underage. Recovering addicts like Mutugi Gitonga and Chrispus Kimaru emphasize that recovery only works when one is willing to push themselves to the limit. Anyango Sylvia, KUTV.